Hi, twin. It's really great to see you. Take the time and stay joined in. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the delay. Again, you guys know that I always start promptly at 9 o'clock. But there's so much going on, and there's so much, I've been dealing with so much mixed emotions that I've been today I tried to kind of scramble to gather all of the resources I could gather to share with you guys tonight about how we can get through this. You're watching the Sedalia Njai show, and we're gonna get started. Can I get some rounds of applause, please, for your virtual host, Sedalia Njai, darling. I'm here. I'm here with you all. Welcome your host. I need some virtual claps for my viewers who are here. If I don't get virtual claps, honey, I'm not going to move forward. What do you think this is? Thank you. Let me get some virtual claps. I see you guys over here, over 15 people in the live. I need to see my virtual claps. Don't act brand new. Amazing. Guys, look. Welcome to the Sedalia Njai show. I am your host, Sedalia Njai. And I'm not going to be as bubbly as you always see me tonight. Tonight's a very serious episode, obviously, because of everything that's going on. Don't worry, we're going to bring a positive note to the events that are happening, of course, because I believe in moving forward, not moving backwards. However, there is a serious tone that lies therein. So to start off with, we have our special guest tonight. That's going to be Shenikqwa, who will be joining us this evening. Shenikqwa is a community enthusiast, a motivator, an activist, and she is doing her thing out here in Toronto, and really actively, not like, some of us, we're trying, but some of us don't know how to become politically involved or to become activists towards a cause. So tonight we're going to learn a little bit about steps that we can take. Again, you don't have to be extremely political. You just need to know your lane. You need to know your lane. You need to know what you can do to make a difference. So tonight we're going to be with our special guest who's going to give us a little bit of feedback on that, as well as talk to us about her community work. Okay? So before we get into that, Mike, oh my God, I'm so excited. Tonight feels really special. Before we get started, I want to tell you guys that this is a standard talk show platform. This is the only time that I will be addressing and or talking to you guys. Okay, once I start officially and bring on my guests, I love y'all. Y'all gonna be here, but I'm not gonna be able to talk to you. Okay, this is a standard talk show platform. You need to treat me like you treat Oprah, goddamn. You need to look at my show like you're looking at Oprah. I am the new Oprah, okay? Very good. So, to begin, I'm thinking, in thinking about how I was dealing with, first of all, shout out to Blackout Tuesday. Thank you. Those of you who don't know, of course, Blackout Tuesday is an opportunity for us to all join in solidarity. Guys, do not post Black Lives Matter. Do not post hashtag Blackout Tuesday. And it doesn't mean that you cannot still post on your page. It just means that you want to put a black image of representation to serve as a metaphor, I believe, for the rest of the world seeing us just as black. Hello? You just want black? You're going to get black. That's all you're going to get. You want black? That's what you're going to get first. Second, it serves as a message of unity. And this is a day for you to post hella shit about whatever information you deem important. I will leave it to your discretion. I am not here to monitor, okay? Whatever you deem appropriate, you can post whatever you want, but keep the information feeding. I don't want to see no cooking posts. I don't want to see no selfies. I don't want to see no damn twerking, okay? Black men are being killed out here. I don't want to see no asses being shaken. Is that clear? Thank you. Very good. So, use this day. If you haven't already been doing it all day, I know we're late in the night, but it's never too late. Okay? So now, to transition into that a little bit before we bring in our special guest, I want to do what I do every week, honey. I call check up from the, you got it, neck up. There you go. Check up from the neck up. What do we say again? Check up from the neck up. Okay, very good. Check up from the neck up. This is a mental health o-meter, okay? And I have designed specifically tonight a mental health assessment as it pertains to racism and discrimination. Naturally. Necessary. I'm trying to check in on all my brothers and sisters. I'm trying to see how y'all feeling, because y'all been all calling me all this weekend. Y'all, it's hard. We're all here feeling some type of way. I'm trying to be a rock for everyone while I'm still myself trying to process how I'm feeling. It's true. I'm trying to process it while I'm processing it for you. So this self-assessment that I have come up with is a collaboration between my personal thoughts and self-assessment, being a conscious and self-aware being, important, mixed with credibility. Where do you get credibility from? I took a lot of information. I did my research, bro. I did my research. This assessment that we're going to just do really quickly before we bring in our special guest specifically is research that I've done from the Department of Counseling and Psychological Services from the University of California, Santa Cruz. Yes, a bitch is doing her work. A queen, not a queen is doing her work. Okay, so that and a few other various sources that I'd rather not name just because there was a lot of compilation that happened. But the predominant source of my inspiration for this assessment that I'm going to share with you guys again comes from the University of California, Santa Cruz. Okay, so we're going to get into this assessment. All my black people in the building, I need you guys. This assessment that I've created is for this show, like structured for this show, with information, again, from, like I told you guys, the Department of Counseling and Psychological Services of the University of California, Santa Cruz. Sorry, I got to raise the volume there. And disclaimer, please know that I am not a mental health specialist. Or licensed specialist, yes? But I'm an advocate, and I have done the necessary research to create this particular assessment. If you come to my show regularly, you know what's up. You know what's up. Welcome for the newcomers who don't know what's up, but you're about to have gems tonight, okay? I intend to circulate this particular assessment because of what's going on publicly, so that anyone can have access to it at any time. Now, this is it, and you can get that on my page. You have to keep in touch. Okay, this is an assessment to check in with how we are feeling and reacting as black people during these racist and discriminatory times that have been too long prevalent. Don't make me put on my angry black girl hat, because right now I got my sexy, my Niger call it my gele, my Senegalese call it my musur, but right now, I'm just calling it my rap. My Anglophone call it my rap. But don't make me put on my my activism hat. Y'all don't want to see that side of Sedalia. Y'all ain't ready for that. Okay? This assessment is also, I have a portion of the assessment that is also for our non-black allies, to allow them an opportunity to check in and make sure that they are appropriately offering support. Very important. Okay, so let's get into it. If you guys are ready for the assessment, y'all see the flyer. Don't act brand new. Y'all know what's up on the show. Let me see some thumbs up if you're ready to go for the assessment. Thumbs up, please. Are you ready? Are you guys ready for the assessment? Can I have some thumbs up for the assessment? Thank you. I will only acknowledge those who are. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Scotch. Thank you, more. Thank you, Inshira. Walking political statement. Yeah, that's not thumbs up. Hirondel, whatever. I said thumbs up. You better follow instructions. Thank you, Shenikqwa. Our special guest tonight is in the building. Hey! We're so excited. I need more thumbs up. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kudzai. Thumbs up. Okay, let's go. Okay. Guys, the first portion of this self-assessment is, again, a mental self-assessment. Let's take a moment. Let's get serious. Okay. All right, everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. This portion of the self-assessment is what I call the get support section. Okay. I'm going to deliver a series of statements and I need you to tell me. You don't need to tell me. You can keep it to yourself. But you need to write down. Everybody take out a pen and paper, gosh darn, or your tablet, gosh darn, anything that you need to agree or disagree. Or just think about it mentally. I think you can do that too. Think about it mentally. I'm going to deliver a series of statements and I need you to agree or disagree. Let's go. Okay. Agree or disagree. For my newcomers, if you're joining the show, we are doing a checkup from the NECA. Welcome to the Sedalia Njai show. I am your host, Sedalia Njai. I need thumbs up. I need thumbs up if you are ready for a self-assessment of how you're doing as a black person right now. Get support. Agree or disagree to the following statements. Good. I don't feel alone in this fight. Don't look at me. Don't look at me to help you answer the question. You better ask your own questions. Don't look at me. I am not here to tell you the answer. Agree or disagree? You don't have to tell me, Patricia. I love you, but this is for your own personal growth because this is a self-assessment, hence the keyword self. And we will discuss totaling and tallying your points at the end of this. I should have given a disclaimer. I apologize. So the disclaimer is that I will be delivering a series of questions for those of you who are joining later. Then you missed out. You're not gonna be able to keep up. That's why y'all should have joined in to begin with. Very good. Okay, here we go. Agree or disagree to the following statements. I don't feel alone in this fight. For my black people going through trauma. I talk to or spend time with supportive friends, family, peers, professors, mentors, colleagues. I am reaching out to other members of my community. Agree or disagree? Bruh, don't tell me. I can't help you. This is your journey. I am reaching out to ethnic or mental health resource centers. Agree or disagree? I am actively looking for ways to release stress and reduce isolation. Agree or disagree? This was just a mental health checkup. I'm sorry, y'all, I've been doing this. Why y'all ain't tell me that I was in backwards? I should have been checkup from the neck up because it's the neck part, right? Okay. I'm giving you guys a moment. Tally in your answers. I'm going to read them again very quickly. I don't feel alone in this fight. I talk to or spend time with supportive friends, family, peers, professors, mentors, or colleagues. I'm reaching out to other members of my community. I am reaching out to ethnic or mental health resource centers. I am actively looking for ways to release stress and reduce isolation. That was the quick version. You want the slow version? You should have tuned in earlier. There you go. Very good. Agree or disagree? I'm going to give you guys like 30 seconds. Do 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 do. Da, 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 da. Very good. Okay, guess what, guys? If you answer disagree to at least 3 of those statements, you should seriously consider evaluating the kind of support that you need, baby. Seriously. You are not alone. If you're unsure of where to start, consider getting connected with your community in any way. In any way, as they say in Canada, in any way, bruh. That's what they say. In any way, bruh. Get help. Okay? Talk with other blacks about how you're feeling. If you're uncomfortable doing that, then open up to those people that you do feel comfortable with. It's not rocket science. I love you guys. Those that you trust, your family, your friends, your partner. Okay, open up. This can help y'all growth in your relationships too. This is how we spark mobilization. Okay, if you feel like that isn't doing enough, even still, then guess what, honey? There are mental health resources out there. And guess what? There are black mental health professionals, and I'm going to have one on here in the next show, maybe next show or a couple shows, but I am in contact with one, and we're going to, honey, we got our resources. You just have to delve a little bit deeper, but you can have it. If you feel like you need a little extra boost of help, that's absolutely okay and normal, but you better reach out to a healthcare professional and mental health professional who can help you. They're trained in understanding grief, depression, anxiety, especially as it pertains to racism. These are all viable options, guys. Whatever you do, just please, oh my God, my soul, don't roll over and quit. The second you start thinking that there's nothing you can do in the moment, you invite defeat. Do you understand? Stay courageous and strong in your mind and your body. And this is going to lead us into the next segment of our assessment. We have 2 more segments very quickly about getting empowered and practicing good self-care. Okay, let's move forward. Empowerment. Agree or disagree to the following statements. I am actively looking for ways to push back against racism and discrimination. I am able to easily identify when I am being discriminated against or being treated differently because of my race. I am challenging offensive statements that I hear amongst my friends, peers, and or colleagues. I am not afraid to speak up for fear that I will be seen as an angry black person at work or other public places. I don't feel embarrassed when I see other black people defending themselves against racism in public situations that I am a part of. Okay? You guys answer agree or disagree. Take your time. Good. If you answer disagree to at least 3 of these statements, you're not empowering yourself, baby. I'm so sorry to tell you. Finding a way to push back is empowering and it's healthy. It can reduce feelings of depression or helplessness and give frustration and anger a positive outlet. Keyword, positive. This will look differently for different kinds of people. You guys keep that in mind. Of course, I'm aware of that. You might even use humor to challenge an offensive statement with a group of friends, or get involved in a political or activist environment, or blog or post on social media, or get involved in an online discussion, or just simply offering a differing opinion in a group discussion, whatever it is, whatever your style, it's important to have a way to make your voice heard. I am not here to determine which way is appropriate for you to make that voice heard. I'm here to tell you that that voice needs to be heard, baby. Okay, thank you. Moving forward. About practicing and exercising good self-care. Yes? Agree or disagree to the following statements. I am easily losing track of the things I need to do to take care of myself. I have difficulty concentrating and motivating myself. I feel exhausted, physically and mentally, when I try and process or combat these experiences. I feel helpless and hopeless. I feel pressure to prove myself, to defy stereotypes. Agree or disagree? I feel pressure that I have to prove myself, to defy stereotypes, to prove that I am not a stereotype. Next, I feel stress related to being seen as a representative of the Black race. I feel incredible stress related to being seen as a representation of the Black race. Agree or disagree to these statements? I feel overwhelmingly fearful, anxious, frustrated, or angry. Agree or disagree? Y'all don't be mad at me for this next one, though. I warned you. It's not my fault. I am using drugs or alcohol to cope with this situation. Next, I am isolating myself from the broader community. Think about it. Think about it, babe. Agree or disagree to these statements? Now, feel free. I'm not interacting, but if you guys need me to like repeat something, like feel free to say too fast or too, whatever. Just you can comment still. Okay? Very good. Okay, if you answered agree to at least 3 of these statements, you should consider working more on practicing good self-care in dealing with the pressures of being exposed to racism and discrimination. Okay, taking good care of your physical, mental, and spiritual health will leave you better equipped, I tell you, to cope with the stress of this with the stress of bias. And it will help you make empowered choices. You can make choices behind your power, not behind your insecurities and your anger and your fear and your bias. Yes? Okay. We can move well because that's the problem. Don't get me started. Okay. Moving forward. This last portion of the self-assessment test, guys, my Black people, thank you guys. Check in, look back at those things, think about it, okay? If you missed some of this, again, for those of you joining in, I do have the intentions of circulating this assessment publicly so that anyone can have access to it. Very good. This is for my allies. Are you being an effective ally? This is for my non-Black allies. This is an assessment for you to determine whether or not you are being an effective ally. Yeah, intentions are great, but they are not enough. An ally, guys, is a person who does not belong to a particular community, but is actively engaged in advocating and supporting that particular community. Okay, so please agree or disagree with the following statements. I am educating myself on the history and current issues relevant to racism and discrimination against the Black community. I am not posting images of Black people being mistreated in any way, shape, or form. You decide. Agree or disagree? I understand that racism is everyone's issue. I am not speaking for others, but I do speak up when I see racism rearing its head in my day-to-day life. I am conscious that speaking for the Black community can be inaccurate, reductionist, and even unintentionally condescending. Agree or disagree? You choose. I know the difference between intent and impact. Again, this is for my non-Black allies. Think about these questions to determine if you are appropriately supporting the Black community. I understand that well-intended actions can sometimes have unintentional negative and hurtful impacts. Do you agree or disagree? I am willing to listen non-defensively and try to understand the perspectives of Black people when they express discomfort, hurt, or anger. I do not accuse others of being a racist automatically. Instead, I challenge their behavior, not the person. Agree or disagree? I understand that I will make mistakes. For my non-Black allies, agree or disagree? Self-assessment. I have a willingness to genuinely listen, engage, and apologize when necessary. Okay. Good. Y'all got that. Now that we're moving forward. Y'all got that. Okay. If those of you who are in here, if y'all got that, give me a thumbs up. My non-Black allies or anyone who heard me, let's hear it. Okay. Guys, if you answered disagree, to at least 3 of these statements, I'm so sorry, but my non-Black allies, you are not being an effective ally. Your intentions are pure, but you're not being an effective ally. The right kind of change and growth takes time. I get that. But ideally, you want to make sure that you are answering agree to all of these statements, the above mentioned statements, which again, if you missed today, I will be distributing it. I will be conducting a mass distribution so everyone can have access to it. Work your way through this. Take the time to internalize these statements and do the necessary work to ensure that you are being an effective ally to the Black community. Okay? Very good. I think we had a lovely checkup from the neck up session. We are going to move forward. Those of you who are in the chat with me, if you guys found that at least a little bit helpful, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I think it's so important. Check in with yourselves. See how you're feeling. Everything you're feeling is normal. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs. For those of you who are here, give me a thumbs up. Okay, very good. We are about ready, honey. It's that time. Checkup from the neck up is over. Can we bring in our special guest, Shenikqwa? Woo! Oh my God, you guys ready? Oh, we need virtual. Yeah, Shenikqwa, we're ready for you to come in. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, here we go. Let's bring her in. Shenikqwa, yes. So y'all ain't here. Y'all here. Believe. Okay, I need the thumbs up. Yes. Can we have some virtual claps for our special guest, Shenikqwa? We're ready. We're so excited. So much to talk about. Very good. Okay, here we go.
Hey, hey,
Ooh,
boy.
honey, she told me she was gonna have her hair done, but I wasn't ready. I was like, okay, honey, I have to
Listen,
wrap my stuff.
I had to. I had to.
You're looking so lovely. Good evening.
Thank you so much. Good evening to you too.
How are you, babe?
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, stuff
Given, yeah,
happens.
of course, given what's going on.
The real. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the real.
Yeah.
Um, yes, got you beat all day. Love you, girl.
Ah, remember this platform. We love y'all guys. But remember, this is a talk show platform. We're going to acknowledge you at the beginning, but do not be mad at us if we are not acknowledging you throughout the show. This is not that kind of show. It is a talk show, but we see you and we love you. All right, go ahead, babe.
Um, I I had a today was a bit rough.
Yeah.
I had a
You
check
share
in.
with me, I'll share with you. Deal? Pinky promise. Give me a pinky promise. Okay, good.
I had a check-in with my job today. I work with the Delta Family Resource Center as a
Mm.
youth worker.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we had a check-in today. Like our job has been really good at just like checking in with folks. And like I have more than one, as you know.
Right.
But they've
Well,
been,
so you passed my mental health test when we're talking about gift support, all that stuff. You
yeah,
passed it,
yeah.
yes?
And in general, like the friends that like my friends and I, like we try to like make sure that we're keeping up with that. And just like as the work that I do, just continuing with the checking in. And when I was checking in today, like I don't know, I feel like I woke up this morning and I was just teary-eyed the whole day, because I kept on feeling a lot of what people were going through. Like people were sharing in our workspace, people were sharing um, what it is that they were going through,
Mm,
what it is that they were feeling, experiencing as like Black folks, seeing all these things.
absolutely.
it was it's intense, you know. And like one of like I feel a lot of things. So one of the things, obviously, I'm upset. Like I'm mad.
Of course.
I'm
Rage is
mad.
like the initial reaction.
Yeah, I'm mad because like this is still happening. I'm mad because you know we are human beings and we need to be
Because the
recognized.
white person has integrated our lives, but there's no true change. That's why you're
Yeah,
mad.
yeah. I'm very I was very mad, but
It's like
also
it's like a bad boyfriend. It's deceptive.
yeah, no, I was really
You
mad, but I
come to
was
me
also
talking a
sad.
good game, but when we finally in it, you ain't doing shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it made me really sad as well. Um, and I was upset and I was sad also because of the silence of like other communities or of other spaces in our community that are ignored. So like I'm sad because of the silence of Breonna Taylor. I'm sad of the silence of like Black women that experience the same police violence, whether it is that they are a victim of it or have to deal with the repercussions. I forever am thinking about
Mm.
Trayvon. I'm always thinking about like Trayvon Martin's mothers and my grandma.
Right, you're right. We're not even thinking about
And
the women who are impacted by those men.
I think it's Atiana. I don't want to say her name wrong, but it was a similar situation where they went into her house, and not too long after, because of the grief, like I know it's because of the grief. Both her parents passed away, you know, and it's just really intense. And I just want to like acknowledge and recognize like the entirety of our community that experiences this violence, and that we have to recognize and fight for the entirety of our community. So like,
Yeah, I believe her
as
name
we
was Atiana
go,
Jefferson or something. Yeah,
yeah,
Atiana Jefferson.
yeah. So Black women, Black trans women, Black trans men, Black LGBTQ communities, like Black folks that experience disabilities, like everybody, like on the spectrum, when you're looking at statistics of who experiences these things, there's something for everyone that is Black, because at the end of the day, like being in this shell, like being in this body, um,
Absolutely.
like the assumption is that you are guilty before you are innocent. You know, the assumption is
Mm.
that when the police show up, that you're the perpetrator rather than the victim. So
Absolutely.
those are some of the things that came to mind. And like also, like, you know, you mentioned in your check-in, like people sharing images of these people who have passed
Oh
away.
yeah, and I didn't even say, do you get why I put that in the assessment? I didn't even explain that. Thank you for reminding me. Do you get why white people should not share or repost images of Black people being mistreated,
Yeah,
or
because
allies, not even just white people?
yeah, it's hella triggering. And like for me,
Desensitization
that
also.
too. Yeah, so
Like
that's
sex. You see
part of
porn
it.
and sex and women twerking everywhere. We start to feel like that is the norm. Us, even as Black people, when I saw the initial video, for example, of George Floyd, I was just like, yep, just another day, same stuff. You know, it wasn't until there was this mass reaction, admittedly, that I was like, yeah, okay, now y'all are open and I can actually try and contribute to doing something about this. But if it wasn't for that, everyone is seeing it happen every day and there's nothing being done about it because we are desensitized because it is a norm. Killing Black people should not be a norm, not ever. So I don't want to see no non-white. You might as well call me a nigga. If you are a white person reposting me being mistreated or people that look like me being mistreated, you might as well call me a nigga.
I think also for me, it's about the need for reverence for these people who have passed away. The need to celebrate them, the need to share positive and like loving messages to the families, and um, like, and it not be that Black death has to be commodified in such a way where people, that's the only way that people can recognize, or
You're
they
right.
need
Yeah,
that,
just the
they need
image. Yeah,
that
you're right.
shock value to
Mm-hmm.
say like, oh my gosh, this thing is happening. And it's like, I don't need that shock value because I live this every day. Even for other Black folks that share it, it's like we don't need the shock value of like what
Mm-hmm.
the institution
The
is already
shock value
sharing.
is creating a
we know
desensitization.
we know these things already. We know these things already. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, like, you know, just keeping these families in my heart, like I'm carrying like the them in my mind throughout the day, and just like literally just like wanting to like always be feeling like love and compassion for those families, because it's not, it's one thing to have to see uh see these images. It's another thing for the families to have to see it, you know. And we don't need the shock value of like of Black death. We know how real it is. We know how
Exactly.
terrible.
Prevalent it is.
We don't need the repetition
Exactly.
of these videos and of these things being shared. So for me, I would encourage everyone to just like practice some reverence when we're talking and like sharing about these folks who have passed away, and actually just figure out what you can do, because sharing the horrible images it doesn't do anything. It actually adds to it being triggering, it adds to it being desensitizing, and makes us forget what it is. And I also don't like the fact that this has to be a catalyst as to why we're fighting. These things happen, but
Mm-hmm.
like we should be fighting every day, because outside of this, before this, COVID-19 was affecting Black communities substantially more than any other community, both in Canada and in the States, because of the lack of infrastructure there is for these communities, because of racism and sexism, etc. All the isms, all the systemic oppression, and how those affect particularly Black and Indigenous communities, right? So like before this, and before that, it was housing. Before that, in an appeal district and in TDSB, them being called out for the fact that they continuously carry out anti-Black practices towards our Black children and Black youth within these schools. My friend, my personal friend, my friend Vanessa, who was a youth worker, had to go and advocate on several occasions for the for the youth that she works with, because of the
Wow.
anti-Blackness that happens within these spaces. And like the mere fact that we had to even fight to remove constables from schools, where not like children, like Black children. When I see Black children, I see joy, I see future, I see love, I see something to tend to. But when other people see
Understandably
Black
so.
children, they see something to attack. They see automatic delinquents. And some of these teachers,
And
some of
and
these
we're
teachers,
trying to figure out where is
some
that behavior stemming? You know, we're over here like really confused. in this day and age, we understood more then why, but now we're really like, okay, like y'all are trying to date us. I saw this really cool post by, I think it was a white guy, but he was like, you want to date us, you want to listen to our music, you want to appropriate our culture, you want to do all this shit, but you don't want to fuck with us and you want to kill us.
Yeah. So all of that to say that it's a lot emotionally and physically, and today I decided to take the day to like do work towards supporting that, to supporting like Black folks, to like doing like my work in itself is activism in terms of the community work that I do.
Yes, we are
And
community enthusiasts and activists, and we are so gracious. We are so grateful to have you here on our show tonight, on my show
yeah,
tonight.
so I was most encouraged to like do that work, to make sure that that work was getting done, to make sure that I can do something else, but also just like ground myself, you know, in preparing myself to support a little bit more, but making sure that I learn to support myself in the process.
Support yourself. What does that look like when you say support yourself before you may even be able to support your whole community? What does that look like?
Well, it took
What are some of the thoughts that you had or that you
it's
addressed?
a long journey to learn that, because I think that a huge part of my calling and a huge part of my purpose is supporting those around me. At the same time, um, you cannot, my friends have said this to me several times, and it took a long time to learn. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you
Ooh,
have anything
ooh,
to
speak
give,
it, sis, speak it.
if you do not have anything to give, then um, you shouldn't. And the thing is with me that
You cannot.
is,
Not even
yeah,
you should.
you
You
can.
cannot.
But the thing is for me is that even when I can't, I can, and it's really debilitating. I've just in terms of work that I've done, I was like at my school, being a part of the Black Students Alliance at York, being a part of the Student Union for a little bit. I I learned very quickly how to just push myself aside and keep on going, and or that the danger of validating yourself through your work, through the work that you're doing. That's a very dangerous slope, and I think that sometimes when we're in certain spaces, when other folks, like non-Black folks or other folks are around, it's expected that that we, because we can, we should do more, or people look to Black folks in these spaces to be able to speak and rise and whatever, because Black people usually are also the catalyst for starting shit up and for starting like revolutions, right? As we see right now. So it can be really debilitating, but what I've learned is like I can't get from an empty cup, but also just like um, I, in dealing with anxiety and stuff like that, when I did those things, I was sick. Like it's not a fine line. It's not a line of like do it or not. It's not a line of, oh, I can do this and I'll be okay. It's like if you overextend yourself, if you push yourself and you keep on pushing yourself and pushing yourself, you can get sick. And I don't deal with it. I don't have an autoimmune disease,
Yeah.
but
Yes,
but
exactly.
because I was putting a lot of stress on I am sensitive though, and because I was putting a lot of stress on my body, I was constantly sick, and my mental health was constantly being debilitated. My anxiety triggered depression. I dealt, because of I deal with emotional eating. I ended up um, like being diagnosed with pre-diabetes, because like it's just the overindulgence, like the
Mm-hmm.
instant gratification to be able to just support where you are in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas I'm thankful that I was able to move through, I recognize like those habits, those things that was doing is not conducive to like what else, that the other things that I need to do, which is like making sure that I'm okay so I can actually just do the work. So like if you're not okay, you can't do the work. And that looks like for me,
So
you know,
remember the
like,
portion of the self-assessment test that we even talked about, that
yeah,
you remember, which was the practicing self-care.
yeah.
You
And
cannot
sometimes,
show up and do the work if you are not taking care of yourself. And that's what I really need my Black people to understand very strongly. When I say be strategic, it's in all elements, not just in terms of mobilizing and understanding and researching and reading, in terms of either maybe creating our own community or or supporting businesses. It's about you being in a mental state and capacity enough to be smarter than the man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, self-care is super important, and self-care in the way that is good for you, but not in the way that is has like not always in the way that has been sold to us, right? Like self-care sometimes can be portrayed as something that is a privilege because of how it's been commodified
But
to just
I
like,
disagree.
man,
It's not a. Everyone can do it. Darn it!
yeah,
Everyone
no,
can do it and
yeah,
should do it.
absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes it's been like commodified in a way where it's like, oh, you go to the spa or you do this or you do that. And self care is beyond that. Self care is making sure that as holistically that you are okay. And sometimes that involves like, you know, getting your work done, completing
Hmm.
certain tasks. So like for me,
Having a platform like this and intelligently giving
sharing.
people concrete solutions to fucking shit up.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it looks very different for everyone. And I would just encourage
Sure.
that, you know, when people are going on their self-care journey, that they take the time to think what is self-care for me? What does that look like for me?
What makes me feel better?
Yeah, and like what brings me joy, and recognize your unhealthy habits and try to take gradual steps to changing and making healthy habits. And because everything is a process, everything takes time, and like whatever you're doing, like just like if you realize that it doesn't, like my main concern is like if it doesn't feel good, then you probably shouldn't be doing it, right? Like if it doesn't, if you know that like this doesn't make you feel good at the end of the day, then you should probably try to find a way that, you know, to make that shift. And as Delia mentioned, connect with organizations that can connect you with
Help you
healthcare.
make that a very clear and tangible thing. The idea is great, but you have to take that idea and learn how to manifest it into something tangible. Now,
Yeah.
Shenikqwa, tell me, please, love, you know, what are your impressions of the ways that we have been reacting as a Black collective to this discrimination? You have surely read and looked at what's going on in the news in Atlanta, more specifically of kind of in Minnesota, of like kind of the looting and the fire and the violence, even though it's happening in states across the U.S. But I'm just giving those examples because they were a little bit more prevalent in the news. But you know, what are your impressions of the ways that we are reacting as a Black, as what do Black people to this discrimination, to this injustice?
Well, in terms of these riots, I feel like they're long overdue. I feel like
Hey, she
I
said, burn it, oh, burn it. Oh.
burn it down, burn the shit down, burn the motherfucker down. I'm over it. Um, because capitalism has been built off the backs of Black and Indigenous people,
Ooh.
and
Mm.
these things people are concerned of, like, oh, vandalism, whatever the case may be, whatever. But even when people were doing peaceful things like doing graffiti, you called that vandalism too. You did.
That's
You didn't.
true.
You you
That's
didn't.
a very good point.
Weren't
Even when it was artistic and beautiful and probably made
weren't
that building
celebrating
look
that.
better.
You weren't celebrating that. You weren't like, oh, look at these artists that are doing great things in their community. You were calling it vandalism as well. So you might as well burn it down.
Mm.
So for me, I just feel like, again, I feel like it's long overdue. I feel like we're fed up, and then because it's like, okay, so we're dying so much on this end from a pandemic where everybody's being affected, but Black people particularly are dying. And then when we come here, you mean to tell me that racism couldn't even take a break during a fucking pandemic? So
It's mad. It's
so
mad.
so what is it? What is it? It's just a matter of like, look, we need people need the time to release. People have been like in their homes, seeing the repetitiveness of Black folks dying in their families, and then to see the
But this
brutality
is,
that's
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
with see the brutality that's been happening to black folks who are just trying to go about their day, some of which are essential workers, and still be treated as if that they are criminal, like the assumption of the black people
But
being
this is what's starting to get me. Like,
terrible.
it's not regular white people, let's say, aren't going outside lynching yet. So some people may say, you know, no, we're not like just killing Black people for no reason. We're not out here lynching people, but The fact that there is a structure in our criminal justice system, a system that's supposed to protect us, and those are the enforcers who are inflicting this damage. I'm really confused. Like I'm really confused.
Yeah, it's a whirlwind of emotions, and it's just a matter of like there are different ways that are people that are challenging it, right? Like channeling it. Sorry, some people are doing it by getting on the streets. Some people are doing it by, sharing like the resources online for people to donate to. Some people are doing it by giving money. Some people are doing it by like taking care of the people who are protesting. Like opening up their homes, supporting people, like whatever way that you see fit, do it. And
I mean, do you know
if
there's
that
even
means
people who are
nothing,
out giving food to protesters? And there was another black man who was just recently killed because he was out there barbecuing for people and giving them food during protests.
yeah, it's horrible. And like, I feel like this is a time where if you feel like you can't do nothing, that's allowed too. Like, we're allowed to rest. We're allowed to take time and process things. We're allowed to like grieve in our community without feeling like ashamed about it. So wherever you are on the spectrum of support, it's just a matter of doing it. And I personally feel like, like if not for these riots, like years ago, and not even years ago, let's talk about like not too long ago, white people were protesting about not getting their hair cut. White people were protesting about not getting their dry feet.
And was it classified
Right.
as looting? Was it classified as looting, Shenikqwa? Tell me.
No, it wasn't.
Exactly.
And they weren't met with any kind of challenge. Meanwhile, some of these people had guns. These people were walking in the streets with guns and with weapons, and they weren't.
Well, guess what? They have a permit for it, and they're a white person who's entitled to that fucking permit.
I don't really care about that.
This will be the only episode tonight, guys. I'm going to give you a disclaimer. Will you ever hear me using curse words? I am a professional. I am a black woman, and I'm a professional, and I will never swear on air. But enough is enough. Shenikqwa and I are here tonight, and we are fighting, and we are doing our part. And I don't care if you like it or not. If CNN can cuss, then goddamn it, I'm cussing tonight.
I'm with it. But yeah, I'm for the most part like allowing Black people to do whatever it is that they need to do to process this.
You know what?
On a police.
Honestly, Shenikqwa, tell me what you think about my reaction. Tell me what you think, babe. You have to be honest with me. Tell me what you think. I initially, because I believe in strategy and mobilization. So initially I heard, on the news like everyone else about the rioting that was going on in the States. I'm American. I'm here in Canada, in Toronto, which had a very peaceful protest. And I really enjoyed and liked what that looked like. I did not participate in the protest myself because I have some personal concerns about COVID. I know that they're lying to me and that they're not telling me the truth. So I'm doing my own thing. But I regret now not having gone because I didn't know that it was going to be that peaceful and exercise social distancing. I thought it was going to be like in the States. I got trauma, boo. Okay. But that's why I didn't go. But now I regret it. But what I'm saying is when I saw what was going on in the States, and my initial reaction was burning stuff and looting and all that isn't gonna change. We have to like be more intelligent and strategize and mobilize. And I still feel those things very strongly. But now I am, even me as a Black person, I have more understanding, like the anger and rage that I feel. I'm like, those acts are symbolic. Everyone has a right to express their rage in whatever way. That may not be my way, but I will not in this moment denigrate another Black person under any circumstance, under any goddamn, because there needs to be a unity. You can be the shittiest person on earth. Right now, I need to be all about support and Black, just like the police support each other and back each other up, just like the Asian community backs each other and supports each other up, just like our Indians support each other, just like our Niger, we have to, I'm done.
I would argue that we do that. I would argue that we do support each other and we do come together with the organizations that I've worked with. We're always doing the work to make sure that we're creating space for each other and creating space for community. I would argue that, like, I think a lot of times we go to the extent of comparing ourselves to other communities that may be coming together or whatever in a particular kind of way, but like Black people have always done it. Black people has always come together. I've always supported, my family has already, you know, there's a thing of like these hashtags and stuff that talk about supporting Black business, which are super important. But guess what? My family, we've been doing that. You know, when we can't find particular types of food, when you want particular types of clothing or material, when you want particular types of like like fast food, I'm not going to go to Moxie's and get fried yam and jollof. I'm gonna go to a
Honey, I'm going to my Africa so to get Indomie
and that
noodles,
place
though.
is Black owned, and that place is Black owned. So how exactly are we thinking about this? We support Black people all the time, you know, and like
We're
it's
just
like
not being media.
like
It's
always
not prevalent in media, and we're not being glorified for it.
exactly. So
That's why those of us who aren't think that we are not in it, but like you and I, we are in it, actively seeing it every day. My entourage is Black. My kings and queens are Black. My lawyers, my doctors, my fucking resources, the people who are helping me build my immune system during COVID are Black.
yeah, I would also say that I'd also like shout out communities in terms of the work that they've done and they continue to do in response to like police brutality and like systemic violence. A lot of times we like, you know, there's certain ways that things are highlighted. You know, like okay, so a music program comes up and everybody, like, you'll see the news talk about that, but they won't talk about like the food programs that have come up. They won't talk about the counseling or like the community town halls that are organized by the community to be heard by the community, to force MPs and other people in their spaces to comply with what it is that they need and desire. You know, so I would shout out the communities that have been doing this work for each other, supporting. You know, when people experience gun violence, like communities come together and they support each other during that time. So I just really want to push that, like, the Black community
Shenikqwa,
has always done
I
it.
would argue, and I love that, and I would say that that's exactly why I have you here, because we know that those things are in existence. You are living proof that those things are in existence, and that's why you're on the show tonight. Thank you so much for gracing us and being here, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with Shenikqwa tonight on the Sedalia and Jai show. But unfortunately, it's not enough, obviously, to make an impact. Obviously, not to make a conscious impact, but this is how it starts. For you guys to be aware that there are things and people that exist who are doing the work, and all you need to do is be a part of it. This is for the people out here chilling on their couches and in their nice modern condos, trying to adapt to the white supremacy culture that does not want them.
Yep.
You don't act like, oh no, no, there is Black excellence. There are Black people out here doing their own thing. We did create a whole economy that was burned deliberately to the ground. Why are we doing it again? Shenikqwa, we have 1 minute remaining on the live, and I'm going to bring you back in so that we can continue this in a very calm and casual way and impact change. Again, you're watching the Sedalia and Jai show. Please tune in with us right away. We're going to log off and come right back on. Shenikqwa, is that okay with you?
No problem.
Very amazing, beautiful. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. You guys stay tuned.